You already now signed Jared Goff, and you just recently signed Aaron Donald. So you got a lot of your players taken care of. And they also signed Brandon Cooks when they traded for him from the New England Patriots. So they are definitely, going to be around for the next few years. They are definitely going to be a team that's going to have something to say in the NFC. And with this extension that Jared Goff is getting, it's actually a big congratulations to him, because when he first came into the league, and a lot of people are going to put this on Jeff Fisher, and it could be, Jeff Fisher, but a lot of people were scared. Number 1 overall draft pick. He did not look good. Carson Wentz looked like he, could have been the steal, and that the Rams made, a big mistake. But this league is about, marriages, combinations, having the right coach with the right player, and trying to get the best out of him. We saw that turnaround from the Rams when Sean McVay got there, and Jared Goff's career, basically blossomed. And he got his team to the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people are going to remember that game and maybe think, but this guy, he wasn't doing anything in the Super Bowl. Well, this is not why you get paid, for one game. You get paid for your body of work. And his body of work was pretty good. They have been in the playoffs the last 2 years. And like I just said, he got his team to the Super Bowl. Not too many quarterbacks can say that. But again, like I said, this is for the future. They got this thing locked up, and they're trying to take care of their guys so they can sustain some type of run in the NFC. There's going to be a lot of teams that they're going to have to deal with, and they don't want to go through replacing guys or maybe losing a guy to free agency. So they are definitely in the mix for the next 3 to 4 years, especially, with Jared Goff. He's not a horrible quarterback. He is a really good quarterback, and he is still growing and still learning the position. So I expect good things, and you got to look at it. You got Carson Wentz. He got his deal. Dak is going to get his deal, which we're going to talk about the Cowboys a little bit later, and all that's been going on with them. And kind of important stuff went on today, but all those players that I just mentioned are in the NFC. Matt Ryan got a deal not too long ago. Aaron Rodgers got a deal. I mean, you have a plethora of quarterbacks in the NFC that you got to deal with. And if you don't have one yourself, you're going to be left behind. So the Rams definitely, wanted to take care of him, and it was kudos to them. It didn't get out in the media. It wasn't drawn out or anything like that. It wasn't a distraction at all, and they got the deal done, and they got they got the deal done. So congratulations to Jared Goff and the Los Angeles Rams. So you listen to the Wait a Minute Show with your man Jelani JB Bodie, and people are in the chat room, and they are going to make me put them in a wrestling move. And one of them is listener Marcus out there. He talking about what you mean, kinda. And what he's talking about is because I mentioned the Cowboys and I said we're going to get into them, kinda. I mean, come on, man. This is the thing about Cowboys fans. They take stuff so literal. Goodness. Don't you know that is on the air talk so I can lead into my next topic, which is the Cowboys, Marcus. Goodness. Don't start with me tonight, man. It is not the day to be giving me some crap. Me or Lopan. I'm just saying. Right, Lopan? Indeed. That's right. Now, I digress. I move back, and I'm going to get into the topics. I'm sorry. Now, yes, there is kind of some big news, but that big news was in Big D, and that is why tonight's show is titled D stands for dollars in Dallas. Yes, because one Ezekiel Elliott has shown up, shown out, and signed his deal. Now, we talked about Jared Goff saying, show me the money. Boy, oh boy, did Zeke get paid. I'm going to play it, but it still sounds like he said it a little bit different. He got off the plane and then just said, show me the money! And then they was like, "What you say, Zeke?" He said, "Show me the money." They said, "I don't think I can hear you, Zeke. Can you speak up a little bit louder?" Show me the money! And that's exactly what Dallas did. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to apologize to Ezekiel Elliott right now because I did not think this deal was going to get done. He had 2 years left on his contract. I thought that and we're going to talk about this later, kind of, but we're going to talk about this later about the Dallas Cowboys and this, decision that they made. But I really thought Dallas was going to play hardball. I thought this thing was going to go into the regular season. And I told a lot of people, I think Zeke was prepared to miss games. So, and at the end of the day, from what I see and what I examined from this, and I'm sorry, I didn't even say how much he got on his deal, but he got a 6-year, $90 million extension where he got $50 million guarantee. He becomes the highest paid running back is what he wanted. So he wanted more than Todd Gurley and he got it. And his stats speaks for itself. So that is a justified, I guess you can say, contract. But I just thought, he was going to miss a bunch of games or miss some games, 2-3 games. And this really depended on how the Dallas Cowboys was going to enter into the season. Now, there was a lot of talk about Tony Pollard this, Tony Pollard that, and maybe that was just talk by the Cowboys, and they were just bluffing, and they were just trying to hype him up to get Zeke to come in, but it did not work. And I talked about earlier that I thought Zeke taking, maybe being the second highest running back was something that he should take, and because of some of the stuff that happened off the field and everything. But again, I give him kudos. I give him credit. I give his agent credit. They won this negotiation. He pretty much got everything he wanted. He wasn't in training camp. He was training in Cabo. They played the game. Remember, I told you about the Zeke Who thing. This was all about, a power move more than anything. They were not disrespected by that. They were just trying to use that to their advantage. So I don't even know why people were really making a big hype, about that. But now he is in camp. He has changed, how people are going to be looking at the Dallas Cowboys. And like I said, I've never hated on anyone getting their money. I just thought that he may not get his money because of some of the off the field. He just had the situation with the security guard in Vegas this year. So I thought that was going to play, a big part in his negotiation and him being leveraged. But now here's the good thing for Dallas in this deal is because it is an extension. And since it is an extension, he still is going to be on his rookie deal. So then Dallas can still go out there, make some other moves and plan for this money to kick in. So Dallas is thinking right now we're trying to win and we don't want to have another situation, maybe like the whole Emmitt Smith. Everyone brought that up, and I'm going to talk about that as well. But before I go into that, I want to go back into the Wait a Minute Show chat room. And Mo Cheese is saying, should I start Zeke week 1? And he said, And, I've been thinking about that. And this is why, and it's so perfect that Mo Cheese brings this up, because now it goes into what I was going to talk about. And that is, will Zeke actually play multiple snaps, minimum snaps? Will he be on a snap count? What will that all be? And I went back and I took a look at, with Emmitt Smith and that year, 1993, where he held out the first 2 games and then Jerry said, somebody get my checkbook because we in trouble. And they gave Emmitt the money. That first game back, he only rushed for 8 attempts, and that was Emmitt Smith in 93. And then it slowly, it surely increased because the next game was 13, and then he started rushing his normal 20 to 25 snaps on it. I don't know, and I don't think that they're going to just ease him in. Because the thing about with Dallas in 1993, it was you had Troy Aikman. No disrespect, but Dak is not Troy Aikman at this point. You also had Michael Irvin. No disrespect, but Amari Cooper is not Marco Irvin at this point. And you had guys like Jay Novacek, and we sure know, Jason Witten was the guy, but he is not that type of guy. And they had some pretty good defensive players on the other side. So Emmett being there helped out a lot, but he had some guys around him. Zeke is everybody. He is the guy that makes this thing run. So that's why I think more than anything that Zeke is going to play. I don't think he's going to get 25 carries or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got 15 to 20 carries. So to answer your question, Mo Cheese, yes, start Zeke if you have him in your fantasy league and just live with it. Whatever happens, happens. But I can't see them saying, you know what, it's going to be a 50-50 if anything with Tony Pollard. But I think Zeke will get the majority and the bulk, of those carries. But Zeke has gotten his money. He is in camp. He is motivated, and he will be dangerous this upcoming season. And he changes the landscape in the NFC East. He changes the landscape in the NFC, and he just changes what people are going to say about the Dallas Cowboys. So that is man. I just knew the deal was going to get done. I thought it was going to take a few weeks, and then when he boarded the plane and was on his way from Cabo, I said, yeah, it's going to get done. It's just a matter of time. I did think he was probably going to miss week 1 and then just play week 2, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like he's going to be right anyway. Now, the only problem, and I'll move on from this because we're still going to be talking about the Cowboys. The only problem that I got is how they duped my boy Dirk Nowitzki. If you heard about this, if you haven't heard about it, I'm going to tell you about it. So Dirk was coming back into Dallas himself the same day that Zeke was entering back into the country. And all these people were at the airport and they're all excited. I'm sure they got on blue. So Dirk sees blue and he's like, oh, I still got it. People are here to see one Dirk Nowitzki. No. Dirk, slide to the left. Slide to the right, and crisscross. Get your butt out the way, Dirk, because they were there to see Ezekiel Elliott. So, Zeke, come on, man. Well, it's not even Zeke's fault. It's Dallas fans. Y'all could have gave Dirk a little love when he came up in that spot, man. He only brought a championship to you. That's all. Yeah, that's all he did. Brought a championship to you. But I digress. Y'all leave Dirk alone. That's my guy. That's one of my favorite NBA players of all time. So you listen to the Wait a Minute show with your man, Jelani JB Bodie. It's going down on a Wednesday night, hump night, and I'm giving you a sports fix. And we are still talking Cowboys talk. So, and the one thing I want to ask about now that Zeke has gotten his deal, and other guys have gotten their deal on Dallas's team. And now, Jerry was talking about the owner, Jerry Jones was talking about how, the pie, how many people can eat and there's only so much pie. And we saw guys like Jalen Smith get paid. Then we saw Lyle Collins get paid, and that kind of came out of nowhere. And everyone was still talking about, the whole thing with Dak, Zeke, Amari, even Byron Jones, he's going to be up, for a new deal at this point. So I remember the Joneses talking about they were not going to reset the market for Dak, Zeke, or Amari. I'm not a math major. But it does seem like they offer him more money than anybody has ever gotten at the running back position. So, Lopan, help me out on this one.
Indeed.
I think that's resetting the market. So what happened? Why did they go back on their word? And at this point, because remember, the report was that they offered top 5 deals to all 3 players. And they were wanting them to, I guess, take a hometown discount, help me out.